deadly attacks carried out in Europe by ISIS is on the increase, and as a result, the amount of media PR ISIS and its warped members are getting is also on the rise. There are many complex reasons as to why young people are joining this death cult. I'm not going to pretend that I have all the answers, but what I do know is that stopping this scourge is a battle that needs to be fought on many fronts, and the media can play a critical role. After the recent killing of a Catholic priest, several French media outlets decided to stop publishing photographs of the terrorists to avoid giving them posthumous glorification. These guys travel with their ID cards. They want their names to be known. But I think that these scumbags should be starved of the publicity that they so desperately crave.
As a journalist, I couldn't disagree with you more. We're sitting on Sky News, the home of information, a home of information. Factual reporting is essential when a country is under attack and when the world is under attack. It's the duty of the media to expose and reveal information. That is what we're here to do. That is why we are here in a transparent society, in a democracy. And actually, two things. I know you don't think if we follow the route of Le Monde that suddenly people won't be signing up to be terrorists. However, there are much deeper reasons why people are going off to do this. And actually, if you starve people of information, you get a load of facts that are no longer facts. You get misinformation, which is more dangerous. And I think if you're going to go down this route of saying, just because it's going to give glory and maybe we'll give other people ideas, you have to then apply that to basically the rest of the news agenda. And we'll be facing a media blackout if we go down this route. We have a duty to report things factually, clearly, and not do anything else with it, especially if you look at the rules around suicide reporting. They're very, very clear. We never show as journalists doing it. We never say how people do these acts because we don't want people to copy them.
Exactly.
But
and this is
you
my
don't
point.
need to explain what a bomber has done. You don't need to not say that. You need to say where they are, who they're working for, and where the attack was. If I'm just finished on this point, I have more of an issue with this. Yesterday, my mum said to me, have you seen the front page of the Evening Standard? And on it is here what Sir Bernard Hogan-Howe has revealed in London, which are these absolute, what's he calling, sort of robocops, right? I have more of an issue with the police doing a press conference telling us exactly how they're going to tackle terror because I don't want the terrorists to know exactly where they're going to be, how they're armed. No, but you can pull a face. If you're going to say something, the way we report this stuff is really important, but we cannot and we shouldn't censor information about terrorists.
But you've just agreed.
I think what Michelle's saying is not that the media don't report them,
of course
but
not.
she used the word glorification, and I think there is a lot of evidence to show that the death cult is attracting people and it's contagious when their faces are on the front pages. They are on rolling news all the time, and it's not the 72 virgins in heaven they're really after. They think, I'm going to create an atrocity and my face is going to be on the front page. And I think, as you say, Emma, the world is at war. The media isn't obliged. There's no law saying they have to go on the front pages. Their faces have to be on rolling news. We are commercial organisations. We also have a responsibility not to create the contagion and add to the daily atrocities by giving the impression that if you are the perpetrator of an atrocity, that you will be on the front pages of all the newspapers all around the world. I think Le Monde is taking a bold, if futile, step
well, Rachel,
in doing
for someone
this.
as you are in the industry, I am
for
absolutely
my whole life.
appalled
I say this as a journalist. My whole life,
I am
Nick.
appalled at your naivety. Why do you suppose, with the exception of incidents such as Leveson, there are such close relations between police and the media? Why do you suppose that is?
Because the police leak to the media.
No, because the media publicise the pictures of people that need to be found. When you're after certain people, that's what the media does. The fact that you might put a picture of a young man from Paris, from Brussels, from Nice, wherever, and somebody sees it in the paper and says, my God, he used to go around next door's house. I saw him. What on earth is going on next door? That is called information. That is the sort of information we need. It's taken an entire series, but Emma and I have actually agreed, literally, an entire series. I actually agree wholeheartedly. I didn't have the problem. I know what you're saying about the cops. I didn't have a problem with that. But you are wholly right. And the minute you start saying, oh, I don't like that pitch. Yes,
no,
absolutely yes.
I think you're right. I think as journalists, I think you're very clever, you're very creative, and I agree with you. You can you can report a story in whichever way you want in terms of focusing on the issues and what's happened, but to take the individual and give him the publicity that provoked him from doing the event in the first place cannot be right. We are just fueling these people to get the publicity that they're desperate for.
First of all, they're usually dead by the point they're on the front page. But secondly, and I think we need to do even better jobs of revealing why people are doing what they're doing.
You can do that without publicising
I think to say that somebody is going to sign up because they're on the front page of a newspaper in France or not is completely
But nobody's
naive.
saying that. I've not sat here and made this point and said, by not publishing these people's names and pictures, we're going to stop this problem. That's absolutely not what I said. What I said was, this whole thing is a mess. It's getting more and more out of control. And when you are giving them the oxygen of publicity, ISIS has become a brand. When you pick up some of these newspapers, if ISIS had paid a PR company to write a headline for them, they could have done a better job themselves.
You're getting yourself in... Supposing the bomber survives, so he's not a suicide bomber, so God forbid he blows up a railway station somewhere and we have a picture of him. Are we allowed to put his picture in the paper?
Do you know, I don't want... Right, if some idiot...
No, sorry, it's a yes or no. He has survived. He blew up Berlin railway station.
No, the answer is no. I don't want to know.
So how the hell...
Hang on.
So how the hell are we going to find him?
I'm going to help you out. So, no,
how the hell are we going to find him?
Can we just talk about the fact that...
let's
show
found
you
him
an
by
example.
knowing that he's not dead. I'm assuming you already know where he is.
Let's just talk about...
You want to track him down.
Nick, for a moment, this will help. A specific example about how information, where you were talking about police working with the media in a good way, has actually had an impact. Let me just play you this clip, which is The Secret of the IS Files, which is a documentary that went out on Sky News, and I'll tell you why it had an impact.
It's hard to quantify just how many fighters have ghosted their way into Europe, but we do now know the names of some of these from the Islamic State files. 24-year-old Fouad Mohamed Agad was a native Frenchman born in Strasbourg. His file records his name as Abu Sayed al-Franzi and that he had joined the organisation in 2013. And like so many Westerners who join Islamic State, nobody saw it coming.
And let me tell you about this. They uncovered a register of IS recruits of foreign fighters, pulled out all that information. They couldn't have done any of this with the media blackout. And security services in this country acknowledged that the work that Sky News had done on this particular story, and there's many other examples in the media, was invaluable intelligence. If we have a media blackout, you can't do journalism like that. You can't
saying
fight
that.
back.
I want a media blackout.
Sorry, you've
on
brought
their
up the
names
French example
and
of
their
photos and names.
She's not saying we're not going to run any documentaries and trying to get into the inner workings of ISIS.
How could we use
That's not glorifying the activities of a scumbag suicide bomber who blew up 30 people. That's doing an investigation.
Who's going to make these decisions? Why don't you just do it the way that Emma and I do it, which is that we have a free press, as Emma said, and when you get pictures of these vile individuals, you put them in the paper or you put them on the telly. Why don't we just do it like... It's so bloody simple.
Do you think there's a link to how much coverage terrorism gets versus how much then it's copied?
I hate answering a question with a question, but you honestly telling me if we stop running it would end.
No, you told me.
I see no link. I see no link at all. I see no link whatsoever.
You see no link with how much
these people are so
coverage terrorism gets.
They are so warped. They are so barbaric. They are so twisted. They so misinterpret the faith. They are beyond the pale. It wouldn't matter whether they're in the papers or whether they were.
Airtime that they're desperate for.
But I find
That's the point she's making.
I find that worrying as a journalist. Honestly, as a journalist,
you find that. I find that bloody worrying. You don't want to run the pictures. The Berlin bomber that I made up is now on the loose and we can't run his picture.
Because as a journalist, you just told me that you see no correlation with how much exposure we give terrorism versus how much that will inspire others to copy.
I doubt these people take newspapers.
Can I bring this into the 21st century? You're talking about the front page like it's the 80s, right? What about the internet? OK? You're deciding the front page. How many people read Le Monde anymore? Right? It's declining. Let's talk about the internet. The picture, if it's on page 10, it'll be on the top trend on Twitter.
But it's about
do you think people will really be Googling the face of the man who blew up 30 people in a nightclub?
People are involved in the news themselves now, in spreading information. Let's stop pretending we're living in an era where the front page is the front page of the old.
But that's
people get the information and do what they want with it.
But what I think is going to happen is...
Because I would respond to that by saying what we need to do is to create a cultural shift by how we are reporting these terrorists. So we start by these massive media organisations paving the way, making the decisions like Le Monde and the rest of them. They start with this precedent. We then start
Just tell
following.
me how it works. No photos of terrorists ever.
Yep.
Right, ever, not on page 12.
Even if we're
No.
hunting for them.
Okay,
Even if we're looking
so
for
Well,
them.
if we're hunting for someone, that's slightly different.
Oh, so we are
Well,
allowed to run them.
So we're taking our media lessons from China now.
If we're hunting for somebody, then of course we need to find them. If what we're doing is glorifying some muppet who's decided
But what
to
if it
go
says
wandering
scumbag,
off...
like you called them? What if it says scumbag above his head and that's not glorifying them?
Emma, right, when you look at why are these young people joining ISIS and stuff like that, I'm fed up of reading about, oh, they're disaffected, they're disengaged, they don't feel part of society and all the rest of it. So when they're feeling like that,
That's
what they
true.
want, yeah,
Sorry
so
if
then
you're
what
fed
they're
up with
trying
it,
to
but that's the
create...
news.
Reality.
Yes, but then what they're trying to achieve when they're feeling like this is they want to feel important, they want to feel somebody, they want to, I'm disaffected, I'm disengaged, I'll make people stand up and notice me and remember me, I'll become somebody, my final act, I'll become somebody. Well, do you know what, actually? No, you won't, because we'll stop printing who you are, we'll stop talking about you, and actually, you'll just become a nobody. Full stop.
How many can you name?
How many can I name?
Tell me the names of some of the recent terrorist attacks. Can you name any of them?
No,
Can I
that's
name
not important. We can't name any of the victims. There are 247
Yeah, and
victims
that-
of
well,
terrorism
I don't
this
think they're as
summer.
famous as you make out. I think it's
They're not.
like
But
that.
consign them to the obscurity
Panellists.
they so clearly
Let's agree to
Panellists.
disagree.
Well, I agree
time.
with you, Michelle.
All
Thank
right.
you, Jim.
On that